Hey guys, what's up? Another green day in the books. So far this month, I've only had 3 negative days, which is awesome because it just means that my strategy is getting more consistent, that I'm being more disciplined in my trading, and my goal is to be consistent, to not let the psychology of trading get to me as much. I want to make sure that I'm disciplined. And today was a very disciplined day. I was only up about $24 or $25 at the end of it. However, everything that could go wrong did go wrong today, and you'll see what I mean when we look at the charts. But my daughter had to have a diaper changed, and this real estate agent guy was calling me in the middle of a trade, and everything that could go wrong did. And let's look at the charts, and you'll see exactly what I mean. All right, so here we are inside of Thinkorswim, and this is where I do all my day trading out of. It's TD Ameritrade, and some things that are of note. The first is I'm really trying to go long in the market instead of always trying to short. So I'm looking for good setups to try to go long. And today was a good day for that. I ended up trading 1,300 shares, but the way those shares were traded, I feel good about it. It wasn't over trading. And I'll show you what I mean here on the charts. But before I do that, let's look at where we're at in the market, because it's always good to just kind of get our bearings. So if we look at the last 180 days, we zoom out and we see, we're in this sort of uptrend, and we're trying to break through this 297.88 level. This is a significant level. It's where it came back up and touched here, and then came back down and has been in this trend ever since, trying to break through. So that's the resistance that we're trying to break through. If we zoom in just a little bit closer to that, you can see, and I know this is a crazy messy chart, over the last several days we've been on this upswing. We've been trying to climb higher and higher and higher. And I think we did approach this level once, and we were rejected. And I think there's a 2 and a 3 time in there. Let's actually zoom in closer now, since we're a little bit more zoomed in. And look at the last 5 days. So the last 5 days, so here we have an attempt here to break through. We were shot back down, didn't have enough steam there, came back down, and now we're on this uptrend here, came back up, and attempted. And so this is today's trading. So let's take a closer look now at today's trading. The first thing I did when I sat down at my computer today was I drew in some of these short-term support and resistance trend lines. So some of these trend lines I drew in. I guess it wouldn't be support and resistance. They're just trend lines. So I took the lows from the overnight and I connected them as much as possible to create a trend line. So this was one of the trend lines that I drew in, and it never came down to reach that. I also did a much shorter trend line here. From this move, it was like at 6:20 a.m., and then sort of this advanced move here. So I was able to draw this trend line here, this yellow one, and then this other trend line here. Now those kind of held up. They held up okay, I guess, throughout the day. Let me get rid of the level 2 here. We don't need that. Actually, I'm just gonna get rid of the active trader, so $24 on the day. All right, so here's our day of trading. So right out of the gate, you can see that after I had my levels drawn in, my trends, we shot up out of the gate and broke through. Well, actually, we broke down. That was the more important thing. We broke down to this trend line, and so what I said was, okay, I think that bouncing off this trend line will be a sign of some sort of strength. And so since it also coincided with the VWAP there, I said, all right, I'm going to go long on this this position. And so I entered the market, and I entered it and I think I got, it bounced up, but it was so choppy in here for so long that I sold a lot of my shares, and I think I sold a lot of them here when I got stopped out before this advance. And so I sold 200 shares right there. So I think I made a 300 share order, and then I slowly tapered that out, and so ended up not making a lot. This advance here, after it was all said and done, I have my little marker here. And then I went 100 more shares. After 400 shares of trading here, I was only up $1. So So I think I went long here, but got kind of stopped out. This is an approximate marker too, just so you know. So this isn't like the exact point. So it could have been like right here, and then that's why I got stopped out on some of these times when it broke just a little bit lower. So anyway, so stopped out after this whole session of trading. I was only up $1, and then from that point on, I started making back a little bit of profit at a time. And today, if I'm going to like kind of say the theme of today, other than everything that could go wrong, it was that I was scaling in and scaling out. So I wasn't just, saying 400 shares at this price. I was saying 100 shares here, and then it would go up 100 shares here, go up 100 shares here, and I was being patient that way to buy in and buy out. And I think that's something that I'll have to talk about a little bit more as I hone in that strategy. But for me today, it was a good strategy, and I think it made me a little bit less anxious throughout the trading day. So that was just a nice thing. So up $1 here, and that was after about 8 minutes. And so I'm like, well, how am I going to post a video that's up $1 in 8 minutes? That nobody wants to see that. Although I was pretty happy with that. It was a green day. But we then broke through this level again, and we kept kind of testing higher highs. And so that was something that off of the VWAP here, off this pullback on the VWAP, I did make another, not the VWAP, I'm sorry, off this pullback here onto the moving average, I did make another trade and scalped it higher. Okay, so that was nice. And then I'm like, oh, I was up, about $20 or something like that. And so I was feeling pretty good. Then I had a bunch of other things to do. I had to get out of the office, and I had to, let my wife be here, working here, and I had to take care of the kids for a while, solo, which was always an interesting thing, right? Whatever can go wrong does go wrong. And I was just watching the market. It was on in the background, so I was just seeing what's going to happen. Are we going to go up to this level of resistance or not? And because I knew I wanted to play that level of resistance one way or the other. I either wanted to short it, even though I really didn't want to short it, or I was going to go long and see what would happen if we went long there. So I wanted to buy in right here, but there was another diaper I needed to change. Look at it, I wrote that on here. So another diaper needed to be changed right at the beginning of this advance here. And I wanted to go right here. I thought once we broke through this level, I was going to say, okay, a bounce off of the moving average on up. I was going to play that to the upside for the advance towards this 297.81 support or resistance level. Well, couldn't get in that trade because, again, I was changing a diaper, and I didn't want to be undisciplined. And so I didn't trade there, but continued to watch it, and it continued to go higher and higher and higher, and it started to form what I saw as sort of this double top, I guess you could call it. There was this level here that was being obeyed, and I thought, okay, this was resistance as this was coming up, broke through, came back down. I thought, okay, maybe this is going to be support now, and so it actually turned out to be support, and so I scalped it higher up until this point. And so that was a good scalp, and then I got out, and then I waited and waited and waited, and if it broke through with some sort of momentum above this 297.81 resistance level, I was going to play it. It didn't really give me the momentum that I wanted, and it kind of just hung out there and retreated back down to this level again. And so I said, okay, well, let's try it again. And so then I scalped from here to here and made a few more bucks. And so I think at the high of the day, I was up about $50 on the day overall. I don't really remember how many shares this was, but it wasn't anything too crazy. And then I tried to play in here. I tried to play a few times to try to, I didn't mark it because it just was, things were going crazy, but I tried to play this break over this level again because I thought, okay, this is going to break through, and it didn't. And so I lost, I gave back half of my gains there. And then at this point, I was ready to short. I was like, no, this is absolutely a rejection. It was a double top, and I'm waiting to play this to the downside. If we look on the 5-minute chart, I thought it would come back down to this level that I drew in at the beginning of the trading day. And it did. It came all the way back down to this level, bounced back up, and then came back down. So I had the chart right. I just made a few bad moves, or not bad moves, just less profitable moves, and gave some gains back to And at the end of the day, still a green day, $25. I can buy diapers for my children. What a day it was. Okay, so that was my day today. Everything went wrong. This was when I was, I should explain this because I was going to play the break of this neckline down, right? Something like that, okay? So I was going to play this huge downward momentum. Oh, and this was the big one. This is when I lost, gave back, $20 or whatever it was too, was I had a short on here thinking that the momentum was going to continue down. And look, it popped right back up. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so when that happened, that's the moment that my daughter started throwing food. It's at 11 o'clock. So my daughter is throwing pancakes, my pancakes for lunch today. So my daughter's throwing pancakes. My son needs to be fed. My wife is just going into another meeting, and so I have to organize everything. And then I get a phone call that I have to take, and then I get another phone call I have to take. So I was unable to play this to the downside. It would have been a wonderful play. Would have made some more money there. But this coronavirus thing, for me, is something where I am just trying to be disciplined in a time that's so chaotic. And so if I escape this coronavirus thing, having traded the month of May here pretty consistently, April pretty consistently, and even March pretty consistently, that's okay. That's okay. If I'm consistent and learning to be disciplined and starting to see the charts and see the patterns, then I think I'll come out of this, and when I have more time to sit at a computer or want to spend less time at a computer like I've talked about, that's fine too. I'll be able to know more about what's going on with the charts. So anyway, that's my analysis of the day today. Again, it was a green day today, which is wonderful. I think I have it written down here. 3 losing days on the month, and all the other ones have been winners. There were 2 or 3 days, I need to double check on that, 2 or 3 days that I just didn't trade because there weren't trades or I wasn't able to concentrate at my desk. So all in all, that tells me that I'm getting more consistent to the upside. My losing days have been smaller than in past months, and I'm feeling good about the strategy. So if that's something that interests you and you want to continue to see this quest that I'm on to figure this thing out, then subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys back here for another video. So thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Be productive today. I'll see you guys later.